14 days. So that one is taken care of. But the equipment that has come today, we are very happy to see. The second consignment from China after Jack Ma consignment. So we believe it will help us a lot in addressing the gaps that we will have had in commodities and also very important equipment. When you ask how many ventilators you have, we have 50 ventilators more after this visit. And beyond the ventilators, we have this extracorporeal membrane oxygenator, which is similar to a heart-lung machine, a very sophisticated equipment of which I'm not sure we have one here, but it's similar to a heart-lung machine to treat those cases where even the ventilator has failed. So these are the extremely important addition to our regiment of treatment options. Well, first of all, what we'll be doing here is capacity building to add to the body of knowledge which our own doctors and experts have, especially if you are hearing from those who have had hands-on experience, who have had personal experience about it. So the visit of this team is going to be very helpful to us, and I'm sure the most curious of all persons will be our own scientists, who I'm sure have many, many questions. Therefore, even while these ladies and gentlemen are already in quarantine, I have requested that they be able to connect with our scientists and doctors via teleconferencing so that we can start right early to be able to ask questions and hear their narratives. In the first place, the medical team that came from Indora are experts in managing viral diseases generally, and this is a viral disease also. But you know that the coronavirus is a novel virus. It's said to be a new virus, so it has new dimensions which are new to us, which even the experts among us would like to know more about. So the visit of the experts from China, the technicians and the medical personnel who are able to give us information on not only on public health aspects, but also on case management and on all the difficulties they had.
Honorable Minister, you applauded Nigerian doctors for doing well in handling this crisis. So why bring in the Chinese doctors at this time?
Well, in the first place, we didn't bring them in. I think the company, in its own wisdom and probably in its own corporate responsibility, social responsibility, thought they should bring people to come and help us and advise. We didn't issue any invitation. But we are not unhappy that they're here because we can learn from their experience. These people have been through it. We want to start with a video conferencing with them even while they are in isolation so that we can try to learn from their experiences. There's nothing better than learning from someone who has actually suffered an event and been inflicted with an injury. So there are people there who are specialized doctors and nurses, and what we can learn from them, we learn. But I think the company in its own wisdom thought that we will benefit from this kind of initiative. We didn't really ask for it or say bring us this. In fact, we didn't know that this whole gift was coming from the company. We appreciate it nevertheless.
The value of the equipment, medical supplies, is around $1.5 million, and including the other costs like the chartered air flight, it's all around $2 million. The lockdown in Wuhan lasted 76 days. So since January 23rd, Wuhan had been in lockdown. Today is the very first day the lockdown has been lifted. So you see, one key measure for us to fight the COVID-19 in China is to try every means to bring.
Nigerians still find it hard to trust China that they are really here to help. What would you say to such people?
I'm struggling to understand the logic, but as in my years, more positive information, more encouragement. Because, so you see, for us, it's a very simple thing. At the most difficult stage of China's fighting against COVID-19, we received support of all means from Nigeria. It's time for us to reciprocate the friendship and the kindness.
I was going to ask, why is China doing this for Nigeria?
It's simple. Like a friendship between friends. Once your friend has a request, If you can do it, try your best.
Okay,
It's
so
that
are you
simple.
saying Nigeria requested for this, for the help, for the aid?
China will never impose anything.
Are we likely to see more of this gesture coming from Nigeria?
So you see, like I discussed, this is the first time I met tete-a-tete with the Minister of Health since early February. And I appreciate the strong support for us from him and the government. And in recently, during our discussion, we share the Chinese experience and what we can do for Nigeria. I should say, the government, the Chinese business, private or public, what we are trying to do is to address the concerns of Nigerian friends, the senators. No matter Jack Ma or CCECC or Chinese government, the same thing.
How long will the doctors stay in Nigeria?
Preliminarily, I think they have a plan of 1 month. But for the first, as the minister assured you, for the first 2 weeks, they will put themselves in self-quarantine, though they can work through video conference.
Please, President Mohamed Buhari, keep the Chinese doctors away from us and support our health workers with equipment, test kits, contact tracing logistics, and sustainable hunger fighting palliative, not the share to a few joke called social intervention palliative by the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management. Let the world hear us clearly. Nigerians do not need the Chinese doctors' physical presence in Nigeria. There are technological means like teleconferencing, Skype, and all other types of video calls in use in the medical field, where doctors thousands of kilometers away are consulted to review and give expert advice on patient cases. Nigeria must leverage on such technology at this time. Even the World Health Organization is using Skype and teleconferencing. Nigerians will have no option but to hold President Mohamed Buhari personally responsible if he forces these Chinese doctors on citizens and the situation gets worse, or there are messy reports about unapproved action by these doctors.
We would find it quite embarrassing that after all that has been said by professionals, members of the Nigerian Medical Association and other professionals within the health sector, that the government should not bring in Chinese into Nigeria, that they ended up bringing Chinese into Nigeria, even though they are trying to talk about quarantining them or whatever. We feel that that is just, an effort to disregard these professionals who have sacrificed themselves, who have sacrificed their time and know-how in managing this crisis. And of course, making sure that they render them redundant. Because if these ones have said, come, we are comfortable, we can manage this matter, why do we still have to bring them in? And the government feel that there is nothing anybody can do about it. So we lend our voice to the Nigerian Medical Association by asking government to immediately repatriate the Chinese that they have brought into this country, so that our medical professionals can continue to do what they have been doing, and in the best way they have been discharging this responsibility. There is nothing any Chinaman have to offer us, especially at a time when all they are doing in China, which is their country, against our people, is to oppress them. A lot of discriminatory activities are taking place as we speak.